What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 101, part 2 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin. Let's get into it. Week 18 recap, part 2. We have the Seahawks beating the Cardinals 38-30. Russell Wilson, 239 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. He also had a rushing touchdown on the day. Rashad Penny, 190 rushing yards and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 5 catches, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As for Kyler Murray, 240 passing yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, and James Conner, a rushing and receiving touchdown on the day. So the Seahawks finished strong. They finished with a 7-10 record. Their passing and running game started to heat up late in the season, but it was a little too late for them. And Rashad Penny definitely deserves a contract somewhere because when he's healthy, he was balling for the Seahawks. The Cardinals finished 11-6 and the 5th seed in the NFC. The Cardinals lost 4 out of 5 games. Are they playoff ready? We're going to go see how tested they really are when they have to play good teams. We'll see how tested that young quarterback and head coach duo is in the playoffs. Next is the Bills beating the Jets 27-10. Josh Allen, 239 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Stephon Diggs, 9 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown, and Devin Singletary, a rushing and receiving touchdown on the day. As for rookie, Zach Wilson, 87 passing yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Keelan Cole, 3 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. And the Bills close out their season with a win, with their 4th win, and finish 11-6. They have now clinched an AFC East title and the number 3 seed in the AFC. And Josh Allen played pretty good. He did not turn the ball over. And the Bills' run game was back at it again. They had 170 rushing yards. Meanwhile, the Jets only had 49 rushing yards. Speaking of the Jets, Zach Wilson played great down the stretch, in my opinion. He had 9 total touchdowns and 3 total turnovers in his last 7 games. And the Jets need to build around Wilson. They need to build him an offensive line. He was sacked 9 times on Sunday, and that's way too many times for your rookie quarterback. The Jets finished 4-13 on the season. Next is the Bucs beating the Panthers 41-17. Tom Brady, 326 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rob Gronkowski, 7 catches for 137 yards. And Mike Evans, 6 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold threw for 219 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. And DJ Moore had 7 catches for 87 yards, and Robbie Anderson had a touchdown catch. So the Bucs finished 3-14 on the season and clinched the number 2 seed in the NFC. And Brady, at 44 years old, still shredding through defenses. Even without key players, the Bucs are still a threat to repeat as champs. The Panthers finished their season at 5-12 with a 7-game losing streak. After starting 3-0, the Panthers went 2-12. And the Panthers, it's obvious, they need to fire Matt Rule and figure out their QB situation and build an O-line around that QB because their offensive line was horrible this year. Next is the Dolphins beating the Patriots 33-24. Tua Tagovailoa, 109 passing yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. The rookie Jalen Waddle had a touchdown catch, and Duke Johnson, 117 rushing yards with a rushing touchdown. As for rookie Mac Jones, 261 passing yards, a touchdown, interception, and a fumble. And running back Brandon Bolden had a rushing and receiving touchdown on the day. So the Dolphins sweep the Patriots for the first time since the year 2000 and finish 9-8 on the season. The Dolphins defense had a really good game, a pick 6, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble 6, and 2 sacks. Jalen Waddle sets the record by most receptions by a rookie wide receiver in a season. And as for Tua Tagovailoa, he improved this season, but he needs to improve a little bit more for next season, and having a guy like Jalen Waddle will help. But what I don't understand that the Dolphins just did, they fired Brian Flores. I think that was a stupid move. He was a good head coach, and I just don't see why they did that. The Patriots finished 10-7 on the season as the number 6 seed in the AFC, and the Patriots can make a run in the playoffs. They have the defense to do it, but it really comes up to Mac Jones because Mac Jones hasn't been playing that great lately. So he's going to need to step up if they want to make a run in the playoffs. Next is the Niners beating the Rams in overtime, 27-24. Jimmy Garoppolo, 316 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Deebo Samuel, 4 catches, 95 yards. He had a rushing TD, and he also had a 24-yard passing touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 6 catches for 107 yards. As for Matthew Stafford, 238 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. And Tyler Higbee had 2 touchdown catches on the day. So the Niners clinch a playoff spot as the 6th seed in the NFC to finish 10-7 on the year. And Jimmy G did not play that great, but their run game, Deebo Samuel, and their defense held them out. The defense had 2 picks and 5 sacks. And the Rams are able to clinch the NFC West title as the 4 seed and with a 12-4 record despite the loss. They were up 17-zip at one point and they blew it. Stafford threw 2 interceptions that came at costly times. One of the times was the one that just ended the game. And the Niners now won 6 straight games versus the Rams. It seems like Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan is definitely Sean McVay's kryptonite. The final game was the Sunday night game. We have the Raiders beating the Chargers 35-32 in overtime. Derek Carr, 186 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 132 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. And Hunter Renfrow had 2 TD catches. As for Justin Herbert, 383 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Austin Eckler had a rushing and receiving touchdown on the game. And Mike Williams, 9 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. So the Raiders win a thriller in overtime to clinch a playoff spot as the number 5 seed in the AFC. They finished their season with a 4-game winning streak and a 10-7 record. And Derek Carr has been playing good football lately. He's been avoiding turning the ball over. And the Raiders had 174 rushing yards, while the Chargers only had 85 rushing yards. The Raiders definitely had the wildest season this year. There's no debate about it. They started 3-0. They had John Gruden, their head coach, get fired. They had the Henry Ruggs incident. And then they moved to 5-5. They're sitting at 500. Then they fall to 6-7. And it looks like all hope is lost. And they win 4 straight games to close out the season. Their former head coach and football legend, John Madden, passed away too. So this team had every reason to quit this season, but they didn't, and they kept fighting, and now they are rewarded a playoff spot. The Chargers were down 29-14 in the 4th quarter, but rallied back to send the game to overtime. The Chargers were able to do that because they went for it 7 times on 4th down and converted 6 out of the 7 times, but unfortunately they were unable to finish, which has been the case for them all season long. And the Chargers were 8-5, but lost the last 3 out of 4 games to finish 9-8 and miss the playoffs. I really wanted to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs, and looks like we'll have to wait. I know he will be there soon. So that's it for the Week 18 wrap-up. This was part 2. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Do what you can to like, promote, and share my page. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night.